I'm really excited to share all about our Ireland journey. I've prepared a little PowerPoint, so I'd love to kind of get started with that. Well, I'm really, really excited to share all about this. The whole journey has been divinely guided. And really, what happens with a lot of these retreats is they come in through my dream time and my wake time and my meditation. And a lot of it is based around Skellig Michael. For the last few years, I've been working with if you've heard of the Michael Mary line, and Mary as in Divine Mother, basically, also known as the Athena Apollo line as well. So the main site, which I was at last summer, and I've gone out to for many years, when it didn't align, it wasn't the right timing, was Skellig Michael. So if you do a little bit of research on the Michael Mary line, there's 7 islands in a row that run across a ley line across the sea all the way. So the crown chakra is Skellig Michael in Ireland. And then it goes all the way down through Cornwall, which is the third eye, which I was at last summer as well. And then it goes down through France, which is the throat. And then we go down through Italy and Greece, which I was just in. And that's why I'll be doing that trip in May, which is a sacral. And then it goes all the way down to Israel, which is the root. So when I was at Skellig Michael last summer, and it is the crown chakra, it is a very powerful place of ascension. I got guidance to bring everybody back there, or those that just know they're meant to be there, shall we say, on the 9-9 portal. And of course, now that we're in period 9, and when I went onto this island, I mean, first of all, we'll all be going out on a boat ride to get out there. And there was dolphins that escorted us out. There was silkies, which are the seals. And then there was just this little black otter that followed us the whole way out as well. We know what it's like to have our crown chakra energy point open. Well, I got onto this island and it was like there was a hailstone, a snow of golden light the whole time I was on this island. And then usually, we'll close sacred space and that will close it. But I would say for 3 days, almost a week after, I was not able to stop this portal of energy coming through. So it was profoundly powerful, very awakening. And so the guidance that I received was, this is a major activation point for us on our journey of expansion and consciousness. And this is a major, major portal for this work. So the whole journey is kind of planned around this sacred island. And as you see, the honeycomb, these are thousands and thousands of years old. And there was monks that used to just pray on this island. So it is an island of devotion really to the divine, and a very activating one. So on the 9-9 portal, we will be going to Skellig Michael. So there's just some images. And I mean, it's just breathtakingly beautiful, as well as just being an extremely, extremely powerful site. And I've been all over the world to many, many sacred sites. And I would say this is probably one of the most special sites I've ever been to. So I'm really, really excited and honored for us all to go out there together. Just to go over a little bit, it starts on the 6th. And as of right now, we've been talking about doing collection at Cork Airport at 2 p.m. So no matter what time your flight comes in, whether you come in at 6 a.m. or 8 a.m., I'll arrange a meeting point. And some people may come in early, a day or two, and spend time in Cork or spend time in Dublin, make their way up to Cork. And so I'd love to hear from you. We were originally going to do the pickup in Dublin, but it's a lot more hours to get there. And so we were trying to kind of open up the day more to maybe do something that afternoon. Love to hear from you about that and how that works for everybody coming to Cork. So then on the 7th, so I've got really clear guidance on the flow of the journey. So the first real full day together, we've been called into the cave, which is really like the womb, right? The cosmic mother, divine mother. And the caves are amazing. Caves have this beautiful ability to take what no longer serves us. So it really is a clearing. And we will be going through the Irish Sea to get into this cave. So there's a very special island, a sacred island. And because the cave could only take a certain amount of people, we'll be kind of doing 2 boatloads to get in there. It's all really specifically planned based on guidance of how the flow is meant to go. So the first day is really about going into the cave, going into the womb, doing a lot of healing work in that area, and kind of releasing anything. So we will be meeting probably a couple times before this trip to prepare energetically, physically, emotionally, mentally, and also to get really clear on your intention as to why you're coming. Because for me, it's never about selling this journey or convincing. I just really know that your soul speaks to you and you just have this knowing. Because the amount of people that come on journeys in the past and they're like talking to people on the plane or at the airport and they're like, so where are you going? They're like, I don't know. I'm just showing up because I know I'm meant to, that way. But I mean, and then some people, like lots of the details. So we're going to this island as a way of releasing. This island has really special energy to kind of help release that. And then, of course, when we're with the water, that's cleansing and purifying and healing as well. So we're going to start off the day on the island energy, which is surrounded by water, and going into the cave. And I'm going to share some images of that. So then the next day, we're going to go to Grange Stone Circle, which is a very, very special stone circle. It's the largest one in Ireland. It's got over 134 standing stones, and it dates back older than the pyramids in Egypt. And it's a very, very sacred portal as well. I just did our trip to find the best flow for it. I was in Kerry about a month ago, and I went into the center of this, and all the stones started speaking to me. So all 134 stones wanted attention. So it was really, really amazing sitting in the center of this stone circle and then individually having to commune with each one of these stones that hold their own frequency uniquely, which we'll be working with. So this journey is really about deepening on a whole nother level your connection with the land, with Mother Earth, with your connection with yourself, and connection with Mother Earth and the Divine Mother, right? And really aligning with that sacred marriage within, that sacred union, your inner queen, and really stepping to that, but also your inner king, and merging kind of the divine feminine, divine masculine, because that's what the world needs, right? Us do our inner work, us to do that unification within ourselves, first of all. And that's what is really bringing in this new earth that we're all working towards on the planet now, those of us that really want to align with that. So we're going to go to this Grange Stone Circle, and then we will go on to the Holy Trinity, which is in Adair, and they're about 30 minutes from each other. And the reason why we're going to this cathedral is it is another portal. And energetically, I was there and it was incredibly, incredibly powerful. It's actually a stargate. So when you stand in this place, it just opens you up energetically to a whole nother level of frequencies. Like I feel like I came home from that journey different. So then that's what we'll be doing on the 8th. And then on the 9th, the 9-9 portal, we'll be going to Skellig Michael. So we'll be getting boats out there. And I'd like to talk a little bit about that because, I mean, for me, I usually spend these journeys barefoot in flip-flops or dresses, well, all of it. But I really want to prepare everybody because Skellig Michael will be getting boats over. And then, as you saw, it's like triangular shape. And so it's a bit of a hike up and it's steep. So I just want to prepare anybody that, gets nervous with heights, or to prepare if this journey speaks to you to come on. There isn't huge amount. Of course, you can hike and you will have free time for that as well. But there will be a certain level of being able to get up to where we go, because we'll go to the very peak of Skellig Michael. So if it's something that maybe you can work towards between now and then, so you can get up to the top of there. But I'll be sending a complete packing list, definitely ignoring what I'm saying that I live in flip-flops, but I would suggest one really good pair of footwear. I have a whole packing list that I'll suggest, but waterproof. They don't necessarily have to be full-on hiking boots, but kind of runners, sneakers, that are waterproof, those kind of in between a hiking shoe and a runner, something, just a really good piece of footwear. So we'll go to Skellig Michael. We get to spend a couple of hours on the island, and then there's going to be a special area we're going to go to so we can all just really absorb that energy, because you're only allowed a couple of hours on the island. And then there's a couple of really special places we're going to go to afterwards to do some major integrating. And also if everybody has that same experience where we're left really, really open, we're going to have to really work on kind of grounding. So when we go to a lot of these portals that are really ascension portals and extremely strong, powerful energy, it's going to be really important that we kind of anchor that in through us, but anchor that in down to the land, because that's part of the work that we're here to do, right? Work with the earth grid lines and working with the blue flame and this golden light and bringing that down and through. So then the next day, it's going to be very like, because the Skellig Michael and the Grangestone Circle there and the Holy Trinity, they're going to be really, really, really big days. Like, so on the 10th, we're going to go to the meeting of the waters, which is waterfalls. And again, just that very much so nourishment and really kind of a rebirthing experience, and really help with integrating all these huge, huge energies that we're going to be working with together. So this is a really special place. So I'd love to share some pictures now. And then on the 11th, is the day that we'll be going back and we'll be bringing everybody to the Cork airport. So if it is, and I'd like to discuss this. So if you look up flights to Cork, it's just, one of the ladies that was thinking of joining was just saying that she was finding that the flights were a lot more expensive to Cork. So I am, before people book flights, open to discussions about that. So we're going to be spending basically the whole time at the Ring of Kerry, which is breathtakingly beautiful. I mean, everything about this journey, I mean, it's just exquisite. We're going to be in like mossy forests. We're going to be standing under waterfalls. We're going to be going to the lakes and sacred holy wells, which is really that divine mother energy. It's really that womb energy. So, I mean, everything about like when I was there, I mean, I think all of Ireland is beautiful, but I was just captivated by the beauty. But don't be completely thinking it's all just beautiful, because a lot of people are like, oh, you're so lucky to live in Ireland, it's so gorgeous. And yes, it is. And that is true. And the land is really deep and really powerful. So that's what I would really invite you to spend this time really getting clear on because we'll have a collective intention, which we'll be really leaning into over the next few months when we gather and when we come together in person. But I'd also really like for you to reflect on what your own personal intentions are, because what I've seen, because I've been leading these retreats for over 15 years, is that when people set their intention, it's almost like the land doesn't let them go home until those intentions are solidified and aligned. So just be really clear on what that is. And so you think all the land is just soft and beautiful and rolling hills, but it's actually deep and profoundly powerful. So we'll be working with our ancestors, whether you have ancestral lineage from Ireland or not, it doesn't matter, because a lot of these places we know will be healing generations past, present, and of course future. So we'll be working with the ancestors as well. This is our beautiful, it's like a boutique hotel. It's really nice, and pretty much it's going to be all ours, which is really nice, because when we have such big expansive days, it's going to be really nice that we have our own kind of nest. The rooms are absolutely beautiful, and the people that run it are gorgeous. It's family owned, and the food is wonderful. So we'll be having breakfast there every day and dinners in the evenings and everything. But the nice thing is we are close to Killarney as well, which is a beautiful, beautiful town in Ireland. And if people want to go out and stuff like that, there is a town. What I've seen though is the days are so full and so expansive and so healing and transformative. Maybe there's a special night that we pick to go out or something like that. So this is Begendish Island, where we'll be in the cave and working with the sacred waters. And as I said, that's going to be the day of kind of like emptying, of cleansing, of preparation for the journey ahead. And I just find that the cave energy is so profoundly powerful. It's like whatever we go in there, knowing that we want to leave in there, between the alchemy of the cave and the water, we can just release whatever we're ready to release. I find like even just tapping into the energy of this Grangestone circle, I mean, it's just profoundly, profoundly powerful. I just like to say as well, because I really like to feel into the energy of all of us collectively together, because we are going to be working with really, really big, expansive energy. So I like, sometimes I'll get guided we have to go somewhere else. But as far as I know, the guides have been really clear. These are all the locations. But we also, if there's space, we'll go to Locker, the lake around there as well. It's really sacred waters as well. So this is Grangestone Circle. As you can see here, it's big. It's 134 megalithic stones. And each one of them, as I was saying, has its own incredibly profoundly beautiful energy. So we will do ceremony at these sites. We will connect in. We will tune in deeply to the land, to ourselves, to our highest selves, to the higher powers, and work with them and tune into why you were there, why you felt called on this journey, and those intentions that we've set. So we'll be working with the land. We'll be working with the trees. We'll be working with the rocks. We'll be really, really, it's like she just opens up to meet us, right? And so as we know, we're that connector between heaven and earth. So we're going to be really working with being that connection and how can we serve. So this then afterwards, we'll be going over to the Holy Trinity, and the Stargate is actually right here, exactly where the altar is. So you find that a lot in Ireland. You know, these sacred sites have been around for 5,000-6,000 years. Really goes back to connecting with the Druids and the pagans. And then a lot of the time, boom, the church will get built right on the ley line, right on the energy point, right on the Stargate, because these are places of intense, incredible power. And you can't live on them because you would end up, you don't end up well, right? Because it's just your nervous system and everything. I mean, it's incredible when you come there with intention and to do ceremony in this heightened energies, but living there is a whole different story. So we'll be going into and bringing our light and our frequency into these places, as well as having these energetic exchanges. So there's our Skellig Michael. And just to really explain, you have to go up these tiny little steps, and on some parts there's a metal railing and some parts there's not, but I'll be there, and we'll have other helpers there as well, to support you to get up there if that is your intention. And of course, that would be wonderful. But if anybody is not comfortable with that, even just coming onto the island and being on the island, you will still receive all of the energies from it. But of course, I'll be inviting you to come up. And it's a pilgrimage. This whole journey is a pilgrimage. And you will keep getting initiated, and fear and stuff may come up, but that is beautiful when that comes up, because it's really just telling you there's something big there and there's something really worthwhile on the other side. So again, if you are divinely guided to come, then you're in the right place, right? The steps look something like this. There you go. As I said, I kind of ran up it last year bare feet, and it's going to be really nice. I think we'll pretty much have a lot of it to ourselves. So that's the island from afar. And you can see all the beautiful ancient stone that it's built with. And I just remember being there, and it was a rainy day, but yet the heat of the land, like the pulse of the land, so powerful on this incredible island. And of course, when we tune into this island, we're connecting with all the islands on this line. So, and of course, opening up all the energy points. So that's Skellig Michael. And then this is the meetings of the waters. So this is where 3 different points of water come together. So we'll be doing ceremony, we'll be working with the water. And of course, we know that we're made up of 70% of the water. So part of what we'll be doing is you'll be connecting up with your own source of origin. And water, right, is part of that, of where we come from. I mean, when we're in the womb, we're in the water. Water is within us. So we're going to be really working with alchemizing with the water and the gifts that the water can bring to us. And so this is all part of the meeting of the waters. So we'll be doing a rebirthing in the waters. So again, I'm going to be suggesting to bring a swimsuit, or you don't have to wear a swimsuit. So this journey is really about you. I think everybody's so busy in their lives as well, but just being free and wild and free to express yourself and free to release whatever you're there to release and to step into whatever you're ready to step into. And every day builds upon each other. And every day this has been co-created with powerful intention behind as a step-by-step process for you. So that's why this last day is the rebirthing. It is part of the integration. It is the nourishment, that the water gives us. And again, on that packing list that I'm going to suggest is definitely, I would invite you to purchase probably a few metal bottles so you can take them, because we're going to go to a lot of different sacred wells, sacred waterfalls. You can bring these waters home with you. And of course, we'll check in and make sure it's okay. I don't really like to take much other than water. You have to be really mindful taking anything or bringing anything to the sites, right? So I am going to invite you to bring anything of anybody you'd like to bring healing for, anything special for yours or anything special from the ancestors. This will be all on the list. But we have to be really mindful about taking things like rocks and stuff, but the water is okay. We'll check in and of course ask permission at all of these sites. But we have to be really careful about what we bring to the sites, because over time, there's lots of different offerings. Like alcohol was always a thing, but the problem is when people pour alcohol on these ancient stones, it actually deteriorates them. They used to think milk was good on the trees, but actually kills the roots of the trees. So what I find is the purest offering we can bring is our intention, is our open heart, is our love, is our blessings, is our prayer, is our songs, our chants, is our like toning. That's the purest, truest offering. And you can just feel how beautifully that's received. We also have to be really careful. Like people usually like to bring crystals and stuff to these stone circles, but you got to remember these stone circles are like our ancestors place all of these stones so they're in alignment, right? They're in alignment with the ley lines, they're in alignment with the solstices and the equinoxes, and they run on these ley lines that connect us with all the ley lines and all these sacred sites all over the world. So when we come, we leave crystals, it can start to throw things out of alignment. So really it's our presence, it's our open heart, it's the love that we come in with, which is really the offering to the land. But the water is beautiful. You can bring back, you can do ceremony, you can put in your bath, you can put in a spray bottle, cleansing your energy field. You can use it to cleanse your home. There's so many beautiful ways, and you can combine the waters, you can keep them separate. You can use water for manifesting and alchemizing it. We'll talk about all those ways, because we are going to work with all the elements and all the elementals. We're going to work with the trees. We're going to work with the rocks, the water, the fire element, the air spirit. We're going to work with all the elements. So, and every day, as I said, there's a different element that we're going to be working with, and really, having that as the focus point for the day. So we're going to go to stone circles. This is another very, very special stone circle called Ora. It's really, 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 really in the middle of nowhere. So we're working with being able to, like, every little detail is really refined for this journey, because from the coach that we're going to be on, it's going to be a nice coach with internet and really comfortable, which will be nice for everybody. But this one we'd have to transfer into much smaller ones to get to this site. So everything, we're finding ways to get to the places that they've called us to. They've called us to do this work, to anchor in these energies, for us to receive the energies that we need to. And we know, all of us know, that when we're working with energy, whatever kind of energy, it's anything channeled through source, right? But whether you call it Reiki or whatever kind of healing energy you work with, we know that when we're working with these energies, we're receiving at the same time. It all channels through us, right? We're just vessels for that. So knowing that when we're working with these sacred codes and when we are anchoring these new energies for this golden age, I mean, that's what we're doing. We're also receiving while we're giving, so we just show up every day and we're like, okay, how may we be of service? What needs to be done here? So all that guidance comes in. So we'll be very much so working with the dragon realm and the serpent energy as well, which is the divine feminine. So speaking of that, today on St. Patrick's Day, right? So St. Patrick drove the snakes out of Ireland, but that was really the serpent and really represented the repression of the divine feminine. So I know for sure now it is really about, and it's not about just the rise in divine feminine, it's about the merging and that divine union when we come together, right? Within ourselves, within our lives, right? Within the planet, because that is what will really bring us world peace, right? When there's not completely out of balance masculine energy forcing and pushing and greed, and then the distorted divine feminine when we're in that wounded victim space. So what we want to do is step into that place of sovereignty and union, and that's what this whole journey is about. And so we're going to work with the land, and we're going to work with ascension codes to bring that within ourselves, within the land. So that's the whole intention. And I think the most beautiful, beautiful, important part is women coming together and being there for each other and loving each other and trusting each other and supporting each other and healing each other and just being together with, like-minded community, tribe that all come together with that same intention. Just how profoundly, profoundly powerful that is. And, I've really witnessed that over the years, how you meet your soul sister, you soul sisters, you meet your soul family, and just how profoundly healing that is. Because it really does feel like the whole time that we're together, we're in this, like we will open a sacred container, we all come in together in person, and that sacred container will be like we're surrounded in a portal of white light for our whole time together. That's what it's really going to be. And then after the journey, we'll definitely do a couple of integration calls as well, because I kind of feel like you don't really go home exactly the same. And it's really important that you are supported, because you kind of go home and you've raised your frequency and you've kind of let go of some stuff. And so it's a really, really important part of the whole process that you are supported when you kind of come back into your life when you get home, because everything is just like kind of brighter, but feels a bit different, and you feel different. You've had shifts. So part of we'll meet a couple of times between now and then, and we'll meet a couple of times after. And one thing that I will be sending out, and then perhaps it's something you already have, and some of you are already in my Divine Woman Awakening program, but I will be sending out a couple of ebooks. One is on the Celtic wheel itself, because here we're a couple of days before the spring equinox, which is about the blossoming, right? We've come out of that dark night of the year, that dark time of the year, that very yin inward time. And now we're moving more to that external, expansive time of the year, that fire time. And so that's going to be all the way until we're together in September. So spring equinox, the blossoming, what were all the seeds that we planted over the winter solstice? And so we had Imbolc back in February, right? And that was the budding, but now we're coming into that blossoming. So then coming into May, we'll be in what we call over here Bealtaine. So of course we have our two solstices, winter and summer. We have our two equinoxes, right? Autumn and spring. But then when we have our midway points. And I love these midway points because they're like dusk and dawn. They're like the waxing and the waning moon. It's not that direct. It's like, and the veils are really thin. So what we have in Ireland on May 1st is called Bealtaine. And it's a very powerful time. It's like when the sun is strong. And it's really is a time like our ancestors would just go wild. If you look at a lot of the plants at the time coming to May, like a lot, they really start to open, and you really start to see a lot of that yonic and phallic of the plants. So literally they would have a 3-day festival. I'm talking over the last thousands of years, and people would literally just go wild. And it was the same thing that they would do at Samhain, which is directly a point across the point in the wheel, which was where Halloween came from. It came originally from Ireland, and we call it Samhain. And the veils are very, very thin at these points. And people, that's the thing about nowadays. Everybody lives in a society where we have to behave a certain way, and just, and it's like, just let yourself be free and let yourself express yourself in the way you need to. So Bealtaine is May 1st. Then obviously we've got our summer solstice in June, which is about that time of sovereignty. The land is really in its sovereignty, right? It hasn't got overheated from a long summer, and everything is blossoming and blooming, and the fruits and the vegetables. So, if we look to the land, what is it teaching us? What is it awakening within us, right? And then we will move from summer solstice. Then we will move, of course, we'll be meeting around the equinox, the autumn equinox. But in between the two there, we have what we call Lunasa, and that's August 1st. And that's what we call as the last harvest, right? And the land is got a little bit more tired. It's had the heat of the summer, but it's really that final part, like finishing projects, and looking to the land, what's this inviting us into? So in the Celtic wheel in Ireland, we look at basically our year starting in September. Samhain, kind of October, November around Halloween, because what we really believe is we have to go into the darkness. And that's why we're starting our first day at the cave, right? We have to go into the darkness to have that rebirth in the spring, which is this time now. So I'm going to send you an ebook on that so you can work with the wheel between now. So you've got, that's why I was kind of breaking down the points. So you can start working with them, working with the land. I'm also going to send you an ebook on the Irish goddesses because they're going to be very closely working with us from the Morrigan, who I will share so much more about on the journey. She is the goddess of sovereignty and integrity and power. And yeah, you don't mess around with her. Like when she works with you, and even just that archetype of her is profoundly powerful. We'll work with the Kaliak, who is the hag, the ancient goddess, the crone goddess, the wise goddess. And she works with the stones of the land. So we'll be working with her. We're working with Anya and Grania, who are kind of more the maiden goddesses. We'll be working with Boan, the goddess of the waters, of the wells. Sheila Nagig. You'll probably see her in a lot of places we go, but when you see her, basically she's just one big vulva. So, and she really represents that divine feminine energy. We were working with Maeve, who's a goddess of Bealtaine. She's kind of the sexual goddess, a sensual goddess. And of course, we were working with Bridget. And Bridget is very much so present with us. We'll be working with her because she is the one with the eternal flame. So we were working with the fire, the eternal flame, but also she's the goddess of the wells. So there's lots of the Irish goddesses that will be kind of holding our hand throughout this journey. And there's specific sites that they're really associated with too. And of course, I want everybody to be really comfortable and like, you know what they say about Ireland, we get all 4 seasons in one day. So just knowing that's a possibility, we get a little blessing. And I love when the water comes down because it's a blessing. So I always suggest like a light raincoat, definitely. And one of those ones that will just knit up really small, a few pairs of pants, like a rain jacket, but I will literally live in dresses the whole time, just so you know, but I'm not saying you have to do that, but I would definitely bring a couple. It doesn't mean you have to go get dresses or anything, but just summer dresses or whatever makes you feel really awakened in your goddess self, whatever makes you feel beautiful and sensual and free. That's what I suggest that you bring. Whatever it is that brings you joy to wear, bring that. And then just bring some layers as well. And maybe even that you decide, like, I'm going to wear my pants and my boots, but I'm going to bring my dress in my bag. So when I get out onto that sacred site, I feel like I'm going to put in my dress there. You can do that. So just kind of honor whatever feels good. But I have a full-on packing list of some suggestions. You don't have to exactly follow it, but layers are good because, it depends where you're coming from and the temperature you're coming from. That's going to make a difference, for somebody who's coming from a cooler temperature. But September can be a really nice month in Ireland. We'll see how it goes, but it's always divinely guided. I always trust, I've ran so many journeys where we get on our coach, as I call our magical chariot, and the rain starts. We get off and the rain stops. So, we just get blessed like that. So we'll just see as things flow. As I said, we'll do a couple of calls. I'll put out a couple of dates that we'll do calls so everyone can put them on their calendars because I want everyone to meet as well, and everyone to get to know each other, ahead of time, or you never know. So maybe some people will fly in together and everything. So I'll probably do a gathering maybe like in May and then maybe another one in like August or something. I'll come up with the dates and let everyone know. So everyone can connect by Zoom and then maybe exchange contact information and everything. And then I'll probably do like a WhatsApp group as well, just before the journey, during the whole journey, right? Everyone stay together. We need to keep wandering happens, on these magical sacred sites. So we'll do that. I know this land like the back of my hand, and have such a deep, deep reverence and connection to it. And I have witnessed the powerful, powerful changes and shifts and transformation that people have. People tell me like they go onto these sites and the ceremony that we do and the work that we do is they get more results than when they did 10 or 15 years of therapy. You know what I mean? Because these sites just are so powerful when we come with intention. It's amazing the alchemy that happens. When we gather over the couple of months before, we'll definitely do some really special intentions that I will record that you can carry on listening to. they'll kind of be activations and preparations for our journey together. But I feel like because we were speaking of the ancestors and the goddesses, a few of them came in. So I'd just like to take a moment to close our sacred space, because it did open just by us connecting with them. So we'll just bring our hands to our heart center. And I'd like to just give deep thanks to all of you for your time and energy, and just gratitude that you would consider coming on this really, really special journey. And I just want to say thank you for saying yes, and showing up and wanting to do this healing with the land, with the earth, with our planet, that really, really needs what all of you have to offer and what you're going to bring through. And how brave you are, because it definitely is a pilgrimage. It is definitely, there'll be initiations and rites of passage, and stepping out of your comfort zone and stepping through whatever comes up. So just kind of honoring you for that, and just giving deep thanks to the beautiful goddesses and the frequency that has come in here, and to our ancestors that have shown up here, to the blue flame and that golden light. Just want to say it. Thank you. It's very important, though, that when sacred space get opened and we're leaving that space together, that we close it. So in deep thanks and gratitude for wisdom and the light that has come in during our time together, but I'd like to close our sacred space now, and close our sacred space in the energy of love and consciousness and light and rebirth and transformation and peace. Gurv Mila Mila Mahagat. I like to do a lot of ceremony. I will do a lot of it in Gaelic, because that's the motherland and the mother language. I mean, a lot of it will be in English, but I will be doing it in the motherland, because I find the land responds really well. And I'll share a few of the special words that you can use for ceremony. So thank you for being here, and I'm just sending lots of love, and I hope that we all get to be together in September.